Hey yo, what is up everybody? It's B Militant. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host here on the Redskins review. And you guys, we just got done watching the Washington football team versus the Kansas City Chiefs, and all I got to say to you guys is that us, the fans, we deserve better. We deserve better than what we've seen out on the field. We deserve better as an organization. We deserve better, man. We've been through too much. We paid our dues. We deserve better than this, man. We deserve better. Now, getting into this game, last week, in last week's game, I had a few. I had a conversation with some people on the channel and in my video where I said that game wasn't on the offense. I said that game was more on the defense for playing worse than the offense. And there was a big debate about it. You know, we were going back and forth. Some people agree with me, some people didn't. But I'm here to tell you today, yes, the offense was way more of a problem than the defense. Now, granted, that was also with the defense giving up over 30 points a game still. So it's not like the defense played very well. Our entire team didn't play very well, if we're just being honest. But yet again, I just want to start off the video by breaking this down, because then I want to go into explaining why we deserve more and why we can't stand for what we're seeing out here on this football field. Because just like in some of these other games we've been in this year, this was, at times you felt like this was a winnable game. This was a winnable game. And it's more frustrating to watch what we're watching than if we were just going to get blown out and we're sitting here talking about what pick we're going to get in the draft and like expecting to lose every week. We're sitting here in football games having chances to win and watching it slip away slowly and painfully, and it's just even harder to watch this happen. So let me start this off by I want to break it down this way, and I don't like to like just point fingers and play the blame game or whatever, but there's a reason why I'm doing this in this video, because I want to explain some stuff this way. So in this game, even though the defense gave up 30 plus points yet again for another week, giving up a 95 play drive, at the end of the game it looked like they even gave up, and like they used to get pressure on Mahomes, and at the end of the game he looked like what everyone thought he was going to look like when the game started, and like he was going to be scrambling and making plays and people were going to get open down the field and he's going to be moving the ball and doing whatever they wanted. When they had the ball with like 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they almost ran the clock out on the drive that they had. Like they just did whatever they wanted in the fourth quarter basically with the ball. So yet again, defense not good, tons of penalties. William Jackson is so god awful. There at the end, like he got another penalty and he gave up a touchdown, a wide open, easy touchdown, just gave it up there at the end. And he got somehow a penalty on the same play. Like really bad defense. I would say our defensive line played pretty well in my opinion. They stopped the run for most of the game. They got a lot of pressure, and I think early in the game, which that's why I'm giving the defense this nod here, is because they kept us in the game, and in the beginning of the game, they got the turnovers. Should have had another one with a Kendall Fuller dropped interception. But even though, they played well, and we got a lot of pressure on Mahomes early, and that's why we got those turnovers, was because of the pressure. Even though all of that, still giving up 30 points a game, I can't sit here and just commend those guys. I can't sit here and pat them on the back. They were a part of why we lost as well. And the entire team is a bad team. We're watching a bad football team, and that's why right above, at the bottom of the offenders list, the defense, and right above them, I'm going to put the offense. And another reason, big huge reason why we lost this game was we had opportunities that the defense gave us to go score points, and we didn't do that. In this game, I thought Taylor Heinicke, he wasn't good and he wasn't bad. And I think what happened was when he played the game last week, he had 2 interceptions. People were questioning whether he's the guy or not or whatever. I thought he came out here and played a very safe game, and he played a game that I would kind of refer to and call a game an Alex Smith game. Put up 13 points on the board. You're not going to be able to win a football game like that. And like I said, I don't think he was good, and I don't think he was bad either. I thought he just kind of tried to not be. He tried to not be the reason that we lost the game, and he didn't do some of these things that he normally would do to help score points and maybe put us in a bad position. At the same time, he tried to basically save his own tail in this game. I think, in my opinion, he just tried to play safe. Now, granted, yet again on offense, we don't have a very great offense in certain terms. Like, so, and don't I'll get into this more in a few seconds here. But when we're let's just call it what it is. When we're talking about our offense and our wide receivers, after we have Terry McLaurin up here, after that, a bunch of nobodies. A bunch of nobodies, no name guys is what I was trying to say. I was trying to spit out there. So after Terry McLaurin, we have a bunch of nobodies. There's just one play that I'm remembering off the top of my head. We're in the red zone. Taylor Heinicke, I think, rolls out to the right or whatever, throws the ball. He has one-on-one coverage on the right-hand side. He throws the ball to, I think, Diami Brown. He turns around and he's going for the ball, and it was a catchable ball. And we would have had the ball down at the 1 yard line, or maybe even a touchdown there. But the pass gets broken up or whatever. It's not made. If that's Terry McLaurin, he catches that football all day, every day. And then we have the ball down at the 1 yard line. So that's what I'm trying to say. We don't have wide receiver depth like we might have thought we had. And we're going to talk about that a little bit here shortly. So, yet again, offense, bad. Had a fumble by Antonio Gibson. There was a few things I did like about the offense. In my notes, at a certain point, I wrote down that I did like the play calling. There was a few and it was more so when we seen more of J.D. McKissick coming in the football game. I thought we were running the ball well. I felt like we were running the ball. We were sticking to the run a little bit more in this game. It felt at times than we normally would have. And I liked some of the misdirection play calling where we would fake a boot to one side and then throw a screen on the other. We were doing a lot of misdirection stuff, which was kind of working at the time. Later in the game, it stopped working because they caught on to it and we kept trying to go to it. So yet again, there's pros and cons here. But I did think at some times in the game, we had decent play calling. But we just don't have wide receivers that get open. And that's another thing. You can sit up here and say that I'm just defending Taylor Heinicke all you want, but I'm sitting here watching the dude on third down just scanning the field what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do with the ball? What do I do with the ball? Because everyone's just blanketed. There's just nobody open. Look at it. There's nobody open. Who do you want him to throw the ball to? He tried to throw it. He tried. The play I just explained to you, where he had the one-on-one coverage on the outside near the actual goal line. He gave him a chance. What else can he do? Everybody's covered. He's trying to give people chances. He's trying to do something. You know what I mean? We just don't have receivers and then on the opposite side, I mean, he does normally scramble and the thing is when Patrick Mahomes scrambles and he gets out of there, there's more people that are just wide open that you see down the field that he gets the ball to. Just people that are wide open. And it's just I feel like Taylor Heinicke didn't scramble as much as he normally does. Yet again, that's why I was, hitting on him earlier about him playing more of a safe game in this game. Not trying to do too much and act trying to save the game all the time, which would get him into trouble. I thought he played more passively. But that's what I'm saying. He didn't scramble as much as I feel like he normally would to see more people get open. But still, man, when we're not getting any separation, yet again, I will sit up here and defend the quarterback when he's actively trying to get the ball to people. You know what I mean? If you watch, he's scanning, he's looking, he's like, what do I do? Who am I supposed to give a 50-50 chance to? Because nobody's getting open. So I'll just stop there for the offense. Now we have the defense, the offense, and on top of the offense, special teams. Special teams was the worst unit out there on the football field today, and I'll explain why. We had multiple punt returns for like good returns that were like, I think one was like a 29-yard punt return on us. So our punt coverage wasn't good. And then also the missed field goal by Dustin Hopkins. We have the ball and we have the chance to go up 16-10, and we miss a 32-yard field goal, I believe it was. So that's why, for me, this has to be at the top, because that was a straight up momentum killer. It killed all of the hopes and dreams and momentum that we had. Now, don't get me wrong. Sure, there's gonna be people in the comments saying, "Oh, but the offense should have scored points there." Yeah, of course. Yeah, we can sit here and say that all day. But a 32-yard field goal, our kicker misses it. Like, and this is why I said all this was to get to this point. Defense is on the bottom. Offense, special teams, coaching. Coaching, number one. Number one reason we lost. Number one reason I feel our season is not going the way that we were hoping. Coaching. It all comes down to that. It all comes down, and not even just coaching, but the moves we did on the offseason, going out getting William Jackson. We went into the offseason saying, hey, we have Terry McLaurin, and we had a quarterback carousel last year, and we're saying, hey, we have Terry McLaurin, but we need some other receivers to help out our quarterback, no matter who it is. We don't know who it was going to be, but we said we needed some wide receivers, somebody to help out take the load off of Terry McLaurin, so we can do some other things on offense. And what this organization and what this coaching staff did to change that hasn't worked and isn't working, and whoever they drafted isn't stepping up. Curtis Samuel is hurt, not even playing football. So yet again, this is why, not even just this game, but this entire season, I'm going to be putting on, you have to go straight to the top. And it doesn't even just stop at the coaching. The organization's at the top. Yet again, for the second week in a row, we lost a football game before we even stepped foot on the football field. All week long, we've been in the news for bad shit and being made fun of for stuff like the Sean Taylor. Last week it was like the emails and just all this other off the field stuff. And like we were in the news for something bad again before we even played football this week. And I complained about it last week. I have to complain about it again? Sean, and I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the game. So we botch the Sean Taylor jersey. What are they doing? Getting rid of the jersey, retiring the jersey number. They're retiring Sean Taylor's jersey number, and I don't have to tell you. You guys already know. They botched it by not telling everybody. For me, I personally feel like they did this because they had so much bad publicity last week, and they might even know of more that's coming. So they try to do something positive and pull that out of their back pocket and get fans excited to come to games or whatever it was, or just to try to combat some of the bad publicity that they had. But it just made it so worse, because even though the team's not that great this year, people would have showed up for Sean Taylor. And so this is what I forgot to put at the very beginning of this game. This game, to me, it reminded me of the Thanksgiving game when we played Dallas and we beat them like 42-16 or whatever, and we ran away with that game. And remember at the end of the game, Montez Sweat got his hands up and intercepted the ball and ran it for a touchdown. With that Heinicke interception, which was, I mean, I'm not going to straight up just put that on him. I mean, maybe don't make that throw, but come on, that's kind of like just a freak play. Like, that doesn't happen all the time. Sure, maybe someone's going to say, oh, maybe it has something to do with his height, whatever. I don't, the game was already over at that point. That was kind of like a fluke play in my opinion. Wasn't like an egregious pick or something. At the end of the day, you still got, it comes back on him. Like, I'm not trying to just say there's no wrongdoing there, but still, so in that game versus Dallas, like we basically just put a stamp on the game, you know what I mean? And just like, this organization has been in the news for so much bad shit the last couple weeks, and then to come out to botch the Sean Taylor jersey retirement ceremony, and then to come out and play a game like this where we got basically embarrassed on a sacred day like today. Like, people should be ashamed. And you know how, like, I built this, like, the defense, the offense, special teams, whatever. All those players I named that did bad stuff today, Montez Sweat having a bad penalty, and all of these penalties building up. And yet again, that's on who? The coaching staff, Ron Rivera. Yeah, everyone would say, oh, Ron Rivera is established coach, and you know what you would expect out of established coaches like that is not these penalties. We have to be at the top, near the top in the league in penalties. We have to be. I don't know offhand what we are, but I'm going to take a wild guess that we're near the top in penalties. And you would sit here and think that a Ron Rivera, established head coach, a disciplinary type of coach, wouldn't have a team perform like this. But then I look at all those players and all those mistakes they made and all this or whatever, and I let it go. It's not on them. It's not even on the coaching staff. It's on the organization. It's on Dan Snyder. Like that's why I've lost hope for this season. And in the past, I've sat up here and I've even defended. A lot of people would hate to hear this or whatever, but I've somewhat. I don't like Dan Snyder, and I wouldn't say I really defended him, but I don't hate him. I didn't never hated him like some other people, like just have a hatred for the guy. I've seen some players talk glowingly about the dude, so you know, I just was indifferent, and obviously I don't like the guy, but like, think about it, dude. The NFL took our name. They took our name from us. Dan Snyder, you haven't done shit the entire time you've been here. Like, it's just been getting worse and worse and worse. You've tried whatever you could try to do. We even have Ron Rivera in here, and he's getting ambushed, probably sitting here thinking about, why the hell did I take this job? Why did I come here? He's probably regretting it. And that's who we are as an organization at this point. We're sitting here watching a team like we're just swindling away another win. That was a very winnable game. Dan Snyder, it's just not working out, man. Like, you gotta just sit here and say, if I'm really truly a fan of this football team, I'm gonna have to get out of the way. Like, I'm gonna have to let somebody else get a crack at this, because like any hope that we had as a fan coming into the season is pretty much already gone. Just to be honest with you, halfway through this game, when we were up at halftime, and you know we were up like 13-10 or something at halftime, I didn't feel happy. I didn't feel any emotion like over the top. Like, I just didn't feel anything. I just like I just already have so much like all the hope for this season was already gone pretty much. So like, even if we were doing good things on the field or whatever, like it just wasn't surprising to me. Like, I knew that something like this was going to happen. At the end of the day, it's just like I said, we're just watching a continuous train wreck that will never end. Like, even though we're up at halftime and then we come out and we have a chance to really start putting some points on the board and taking over the game or whatever, it just doesn't happen. We miss a field goal, and then the entire momentum of the game is just over. You know, the chance that we had to like actually do something is gone. Our coaching staff doesn't, like, we're still playing Landon Collins and people are gonna say, oh, but on that one play that he gave up down near the red zone, people are gonna say, oh, you know, well, he was in the right place or whatever. Well, I know at this point, I don't care. I don't care if you're even in the right place. If you're not making a play, if you're not making plays, it's time to put someone else in there and see if they're gonna be as bad as you, because it can't get any worse, right? It just can't get any worse. And that's why I'm put so much of this on the coaching staff, because I'm tired of seeing the same shit over and over and over and over and over and over, and things don't change. Why aren't we seeing some of these other guys that maybe play special teams or whatever? Why am I not seeing different guys out there at safety when we're seeing, like I said, yet again, today wasn't probably an extremely bad day for Landon Collins, but it's been a bad year for the guy, and we're not seeing something different yet. So I just really don't understand that. Yet again, we're not. I feel like we're just not doing the right things at the coaching position. Our quarterback was struggled last week or whatever, and we come into this game and Like I'll be trying to run the ball as much as I can. I mean, yeah, you want to establish, get your quarterback in a rhythm, of course, but I would have been running the shit out the ball. Like, and it just so many things just doesn't make sense. Um, and some of the answers, like Ron Rivera said, uh, that he was kind of looking back, he kind of it's kind of like a blessing and a curse or something like that, basically, that we won the division last year, because now, with the schedule and everything, it doesn't seem like we're really building or like getting better or whatever, like it's just like now you have even like Ron Rivera saying shit that he's not supposed to say. You know what I mean? Like I feel like Ron Rivera has like a really good constitution as a man, and like, is always on top of, like, he's a strong guy, and he knows what he wants to say. He's always got a plan or whatever. And now the organization has this guy discombobulated and doesn't even know what to say, and he's out here saying dumb shit on TV and stuff. Like, that's just how bad the organization is. And like, I have so many notes on my phone that I could go through just about the game, but I don't know if we need to relive all that, man. I don't know if we need to relive all that. Just the defense. I can't get over. The defense was really bad. Third downs. They got third downs in the first half. Yes, they looked pretty one of their better games of the season. But in the second half, it was kind of the same old shit. They couldn't get off the field. Like I said, in the fourth quarter, yes, of course, the offense wasn't doing what they needed to do. Scoring 13 points, it can't have it. You can't do that. You'll never win like that. But even in the second half, it was like the defense ended up caving in too. Just third downs, just like over the middle. It's just all season long, just passes over the middle, just wide open, just wide open. And that's why I'm not understanding why we aren't doing something crazy different. We're 2-4 now. We better, like, as a coaching staff, I want to see like us coming out swinging. I want to, in this game or whatever, it was like it was like 4th and 2 from like the 25 or something, and we were kicking a field goal. I'm sitting here thinking, fake that shit, and run for the first down and maybe get a touchdown. It's 13 to 10 anyway, and we have the ball. Like, it was like a 32-yard field goal. And on that field goal attempt, it was like 4th and 2. I'm sitting here thinking, run that shit, fake that shit, and run it. What are we doing here? Like the announcers saying, field goals ain't gonna beat the Chiefs. They're gonna score. They're gonna find a way to score. Both of our defenses suck, and guess what? Their team still looked way better than ours. and like, they looked really bad in the beginning, but guess what? They're not used to being really bad. We are. So they snapped out of it. We didn't. But just from top to bottom, man, this team's not, I don't know. It's actually insane to think about how, like, the team we had just last year was, I would say, solid. I wouldn't say great. We at times, yeah, of course, in the playoff game or whatever, we played a pretty good game, and at the end of the season, I feel like the things started to click or whatever, and you could say maybe at that time we were a good team, maybe, but there's no resemblance from what happened last season to now, and I excuse me, I just can't put that. It's to the point where I can't even blame a player. Like, I'm just not seeing anything out of the coaching staff that screams to me, hey, we need to win football games. Hey, we need to get this shit right. Hey, these guys are making all these penalties. We're going to correct that. We're going to make sure that doesn't happen next game. No, it continues to happen. And then guess what? How can you even blame the coaches when they have all this other shit? They're going to interviews, and they're getting asked about stuff that has nothing to do with them. Our personal trainer, we're getting raided by the DEA, and all this shit. Like, it's just one thing after another, man. It's just a epitome of like a bad organization. And guess what? As fans, we've done this for how long? And then we went from last season having just an ounce of hope to having to come into this season and just like, you know, we're 6 games into the season and we're already like, man, like we're just slowly bleeding out, and just we know we're gonna die. We know it's coming, and it's like it's not even a swift death. We're just sitting here bleeding out, and we have to sit here and watch it. We have to sit here and watch us being in football games that maybe even like in this game, we shouldn't have even had a chance to be in the football game against a team like the Chiefs, but we did. But every single chance we had, we squandered it just because that's who we are. We can't sustain success. Our coaches can't get it done. And then, you know, we're gonna sit here, and this is the last thing I'll say about everything, and then I'll probably end this video. So yet again, back on the coaches. Like I said, in this game, offense and defense didn't play well. And I put special teams above them on reasons why this game went horribly. Because that missed field goal, I feel like the momentum in the entire game changed right there. And as Ron Rivera, as anybody on the coaching staff, this is why I would never blame any of the players, like really blame any of the players. Taylor Heinicke, and even people playing extremely poorly like Landon Collins or whatever. I won't blame any of those guys because it's ultimately on the coaching staff, because we have a kicker missing like half his fucking kicks, and he's still on the fucking football team, and our coaching staff won't do a goddamn thing about it. So how are you even supposed to be a player and give a shit about the football team when the coaching staff doesn't even give a shit about the football team? They don't care about winning. You're going to sit here and tell me, oh, okay, well, there's no better kickers out there on the street. How could it get any worse? How could it get any worse? And you're, as a coach, sitting here just letting your team know that it's okay. It's okay to miss field goal kicks at 32 yards. It's okay to just destroy momentum. It's okay to lose games by kicks. And we're just going to sit here and do nothing about it. The same thing with the Landon Collins shit. The guy's bad. He's playing bad. I don't care how much money he's making. It's on you. It's ultimately on you. You have to win, or it's going to ultimately come on you because you're the damn coach. And they're not doing anything to change shit, or even if it's not bringing in another player or whatever, they're not doing what they need to do to help correct that player and get them on the right track. It's not happening. So ultimately, coaching, it's poor. So yeah, I had to get a rant in there somewhere, huh? So I'm gonna just end the video here. I have tons of notes. Didn't even have to go to the notes. The notes are gonna be bad. It's gonna be a bunch of me pointing out what players did poorly. So you guys already seen that with your own eyes. But the last thing I want to say in this video is, you know, I'm not the type of person to do this. I'm not someone who is always like, hey, like, favorite, and subscribe, and all that type of stuff. That's just not who I am. When I watch YouTube videos or whatever, I don't like watching people doing things like that. But all I do want to plug in this is that on my other YouTube channel, the Be Militant YouTube channel, or my Twitch channel, Be Militant or whatever, it's going to be in the description or whatever. If you guys play video games, if you want to come chill with me while I played video games live, I stream both on YouTube, on Be Militant on the YouTube, and also simultaneously on Twitch. If you go to any of those places, you can talk to me live. Some people from this channel that comment on these videos or whatever, they come over there and ask me questions about football or whatever. You can completely do that. You know, it's just in a live setting. And I'm also playing video games like Call of Duty or Battlefield or whatever. So we can just kick it or whatever. So yeah, if you are into video games or whatever, come give your boy a follow. Come say what's up when you see me live. And like I said, if you ever want to ask me a question live or whatever, you can do that over there. Like, I don't care about talking, about football. I'm going to be playing video games at the same time. So, all right, that's all I got for you guys, dude. I will see you in the next one. Hail to the Washington football team. Peace.